savvy. Go explore what makes the outdoors great. Go discover family fun in its natural surroundings. Go free at Central Oregon's own Sun River.
At Groupon, we believe the best things in life come to those who search. To those who seek discoveries, both big and small. From your new favorite sushi bar to the flight lesson you never thought you'd take. Groupon makes it easy to save on the things you do every day and has thousands of deals to search for. So when you want to do anything, anywhere, anytime, check Groupon first.
Safeway gets that staying on budget can be a real bear. That's why they've got lots of ways to save. Really big club card deals, the Safeway app, and gas rewards. This week, life's just a little sweeter with delicious red seedless grapes, just $1.99 a pound. Clean up with Bounty paper towels, only $8.99 for 8 large rolls. And honey bunches of oats are just $1.88. There's more savings to love at Safeway. Ingredients for life.
How to organize a kitchen. Utensils in a drawer, spices in the pantry, dishes above, pots and pans below.
Do what makes you happy at a price that makes you look good savvy.
Cron 4 programming is sponsored by Cash Creek. Visit cashcreek.com.
We are Cash Creek, home to 95% payback on our penny machines and the best overall payback in Northern California.
So you can say that we're all about our players.
Cash Creek Casino Resort. Play here. Play the best. It's a 50 million point palooza at Cash Creek. Now through May 26th, we're giving away millions of points every weekend. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Win your share. Plus, on Memorial Day weekend, we're awarding a total of 8 million points. The 50 million point palooza only at Cash Creek. And we're back, and as we approach the 7:15 mark, let's give you a quick look at the weather outside. It is nice and now sunny. The sun now up over the horizon here as we take a look out to the east. This is our Bay Bridge Toll Plaza camera. Those in the East Bay Hills, the Oakland Hills, and we're off to a fantastic start. Here's where temperatures stand at the moment. In Oakland, it's 51 degrees, and as you can see, the map generally shows us 50-degree weather right now with a few spots dipping into the upper 40s. We've got Pleasanton at 49, 48s for Novato, and for Santa Rosa, a little bit of fog up in the North Bay valleys, but otherwise we're seeing relatively clear skies just about everywhere around the bay. Here's what the satellite radar view looks like, and high pressure definitely here. As you can see, no clouds really to look at, and as we pull out wider, you'll see the entire state of California enjoying that high pressure. All the wet weather that's out in the Pacific is being pushed off to the north, so we won't have to deal with that for a good while to come. Temperatures this afternoon, we're looking for low to mid 80s in the South Bay, maybe upper 80s down near Gilroy. Out to the East Bay valleys, again a day of low 80-degree weather, 83 for Livermore. Pittsburgh, same for you, upper 70s to low 80s for the San Ramon Valley, upper 70s for the East Bay shoreline. We've got Oakland coming in at 77, 72 for San Francisco, with upper 70s and low 80s throughout a good bit of the North Bay and the wine country. Napa, for instance, 80 degrees. So that's the weather for today. Sunny and warm with highs in the low to mid 80s. Tomorrow, even warmer. In fact, Tuesday will be the warmest day of the week, and the extended forecast calls for slight cooling Wednesday through Friday. We'll talk about that in more detail coming up. Right now, though, pressed for time, let's get over to the traffic department, see what your commute is shaping up like. Folks in traffic long, George?
They are on the Nimitz Freeway this morning, James. We're looking at a corridor commute that's pushing upwards of an hour now for 880 southbound. That's from 238 down to 237. An accident at Stevenson Boulevard, the culprit this morning, although even without an incident, it can oftentimes get jammed up for that stretch of roadway. But again, the drive times are now up over 60 minutes. It should be about a 30 to 35-minute drive, even at this hour of the morning. And we're still backed up on the East Shore Freeway. The drive time has dropped from 30 to 28 minutes here for the westbound ride. It was a stall at Powell Street that backed things up. And we're still tracking some delays for 680 southbound, where the Concord commute is now 21 minutes southbound from the 242 Highway 4 merge down to the 24 680 interchange. And tracking the bridges for you, the Bay Bridge ride westbound. It started to look like maybe we were going to catch a break here right after the metering lights were activated.
Now
That's
you
no
feel
longer
it.
so. The backup reaches into the maze on to 580.
He's gonna spaz out in a minute. He cooked it. I did.
They're back on what?
Free here with
There's no good lighting.
increase in drive time yet, 13 to 15 minutes.
Thank you. Almost done.
To slow now across all the lanes at the toll plaza of the Richmond San Rafael.
I want to film the trip to the hospital too. Pump my stomach.
Police are investigating it as a murder. The hiker was found the body. Body was found right off a popular trail near Calle Arboleda, and it was Friday night. So the hiker called 911. The police came out, determined that person, the victim, was murdered, but they don't have many other details that they're releasing, not telling us the name of the victim, if that's been identified either.
And a strange story in Palo Alto, a naked teenager facing several charges after terrorizing a neighborhood on a violent crime spree.
Yeah.
Police say 18-year-old Daiki Glenn Manaki entered two homes and assaulted 3 people. He was on some form of narcotics, according to police. He entered a home on the 1100 block of Colorado Avenue, punched a teenager in the face, and then ran out. Then naked Manaki attacked a woman and her dog. Authorities say he pushed her to the ground and then repeatedly kicked her in the head and stomach as she screamed for help. A man ran.
He was high.
Police spotted Manaki on August.
I wonder he was at that pop 2014 like me.
Battery and a number of misdemeanors, and police say his facial injuries occurred before any of the attacks.
Get ready to pay a little more when you fill her up at the pump this morning as you head to work or school. Prices are on the rise. About 5 cents
There's damn shit.
2 weeks.
So running naked.
So now, this is the regular stuff. 408 on average. San Francisco, 408. San Jose, 401. And Oakland, just not quite touching $4 a gallon there at $3.99. Statewide, the average is $3.07.
A developing world story that we're following. Ukraine's prime minister saying Russia will use any excuse to cross the border. This comes as armed gunmen have taken over a government building and set up roadblocks in the Ukrainian city of Donetsk, about 15 miles from the Russian border. Pro-Russian separatists are claiming responsibility, and they're now calling for that area to secede from Ukraine and join Russia.
President Barack Obama is going to be going to Fort Hood on Wednesday to attend a memorial service for victims of last week's deadly shooting. Mr. Obama and the First Lady visited Fort Hood under similar circumstances in 2009 when there was a shooting rampage that killed more than a dozen people. The Obamas had already been set to be in Texas as they were going to be taking part in a Democratic campaign fundraiser, still doing that in Houston.
And a new survey showing more Americans now have health insurance. The sign-up season for the Affordable Care Act just ended on March 31st. The survey found adults without health insurance dropped from 17.1% of Americans last year down to 15.6% of Americans this year. That means about 3.5 million people have gained health insurance. And a new story from this morning, airlines are delaying more flights and mishandling more bags, but consumers don't seem to mind. According to a new study, 78% of flights were on time in 2013, down from 81% in 2012. 2013 also saw a bag handling mishaps go up 5%. However, consumer complaints dropped by 15%. The survey found Hawaiian Airlines was best at staying on time, while American Eagle was the worst. Virgin America had the fewest mishandled bags, while American Eagle had the most.
People have just stopped complaining.
That's exactly it. We've gotten used to it.
Yeah, I still hate it, but today General Motors begins that big fix to fix millions of vehicles at the center of the controversial recall. If you own one of the 6 GM models that have been recalled, you can take it to your local dealer and they will fix the ignition switch. Those models include the 2003 through 07 Chevy Cobalt, the HHR, the Pontiac G5, the Solstice, the Saturn Ion, and Sky. The faulty ignition switches.
That's why I don't drive
those
there.
are tied to at least 13 deaths, so make sure that you get that done. His career spanned more than 80 years. Hollywood loses a legend. Mickey Rooney died at the age of 93 yesterday. He was surrounded by family at his home in North Hollywood. He starred in silent comedy shorts, musicals. He starred in so many movies with legends, Judy Garland and other legends.